Good evening, everybody. It's approximately 6 o'clock, and it's May the 28th on Tuesday. I'm here at my favorite tower, of course, at the Disneyland Hotel, the Adventure Tower, and finally we can meet, and for me to tell some of my story that I've been trying to do, but it just wasn't happening, that I wanted to do my Easter story and a little bit to tell a little bit of my story and in music and a little bit of my testimony, and this is spontaneous. I don't know how this is going to turn out. It's all good. I want to thank everyone for watching my performance. We just celebrated 3 weeks ago our Serbian Orthodox Easter, which fell on May the 5th, Cinco de Mayo, actually, and where I had sung 3 songs in 3 different languages, and then I had played my Serbian music. It's called the Kolo. The background, a little bit of the background before the testimony, to say a little bit about myself. I grew up in the Serbian Orthodox tradition in the Church Christ the Savior in Arcadia, where I sang, after our worship service, the liturgy, we have the banquet hall where us Serbs, what we do when it's a holiday, we party. We dance the kolo. That's what we do. That's our thing. And where I sang as a kid, the Serbian music that I grew up, and that I sang, one of the songs that I sang as a 16-year-old, Noće tiha mesec gleda sela kraj Morave. I'll get there in a few moments. And what I was trying to do was to continue through Facebook and through YouTube, the tradition that was started like 46 years ago. But in the church that I grew up in, but now on Facebook, to continue the folklore and our folk music tradition, also being into opera, as well as I do both. Where I do the Serbian music, I play it and I sing it, and I do opera. So a little bit of a rundown, a little bit of a background, where I sang my favorite song. If the birds on the roof know that song, Dein mein ganzes Herz, yours is my heart alone, that I've been singing forever. Since 1989, that's my favorite song. And then I sang in Hungarian, Come Gypsy Play on the Violin. My mom absolutely loved anything related to gypsies, related to the violins, and that's a tribute to her and her influence, where she left us a few years ago. And then I sang Noće tiha mesec gleda sela kraj Morave. I get excited over that song. Noće tiha, the night is quiet and the moon is overlooking the plain of Moravo. It's very, very poetic, and I sang that several times on my YouTube page, but this was a more happier, more peppier, happier version. And then I played 3 kolos, the Serbian music, which is the dance music, that Moravac kolo, Čačak Moravac was kind of more simpler, in 3 different keys. And then also I added a few passages, and then Čačak is more fast. It's more fast, less notes, but one note is playing constantly. It was more tricky while you're going over the same passage. And then Polomka kolo, also, which I had, everything comes in sets of 3s, where I sang 3, and then I played where I wanted to continue the Serbian music and the tradition that I had grown up in. Okay, did you get all of that? Now, a little bit of my story, of the miracle Easter that opened the door to everything. And that I wanted to tell the story, it just wasn't happening. I was just so excited between the singing, too much partying, too much celebrating, where I wanted to tell the story, but between the singing, between the Hungarian, between the different languages and the kolos, and really focusing 100%, I was too excited. And I wasn't ready because I have so much to say, but I have to do it in several languages. I'm my own interpreter. I'll go back in Serbian, but now to say it in English, because speaking to a wider audience, to a wider crowd, that way to cover everybody. A little bit of my story and a little bit of my testimony. For Easter of 2018, where it was our Serbian Orthodox, it was the 40th anniversary where I had sung. And that's like a generation. And then just stuff from a different era that came to mind. I was just one by one handing it over to God. And I had prayed. And that was really a good time good connection during my Serbian Orthodox Easter. I don't even remember what I prayed. I'm frustrated because I don't even remember what I said, but I'm told that that's good because that means that I was concentrated, that I was focused on the project, but it did the job. But God's timing, that I had recorded about a week earlier, a cappella, where I was singing my favorite song, Dein ist mein ganzes Herz, yours is my heart alone, in German, but I was bored. I was bored. I wanted to see how it would come out because I sang that song, and many of you have heard it, and thank you, and you enjoyed it. I know that you liked it, but here I was singing it. Here it was more a video. That was more audio years ago. And so I just kind of moved on, didn't think much. But then when I was coming home after the Easter dinner with our family, then I thought, I can put that, oh my gosh, I can put that on YouTube that way, right on the Serbian Orthodox Easter, to follow in that tradition, in those footsteps. But then I had an inner battle. I'm thinking, should I or shouldn't I? What are they going to think? What's everyone going to think of me? Everyone thought when I was a teenager that my singing was a joke, that I'm competing with professional singers and everything, and a lot of where it was being laughed at, negative energy. So then I was driving, should I or shouldn't I? I had an inner battle with myself, but I figured strike at the iron while it's hot. Throw all of that to the wind. Go ahead and do it. The old saying, you can't walk on water until you step out of the boat. And then I was pleasant, as my mom would say, if I can say it in Serbian, I'll translate. Šta ti se tiče šta svako misli? Gledaj svoj posao, ko su oni, šta su oni? She was saying, like, she was very encouraging me. She was like, who cares what everyone thinks? Throw that to the wind. You mind your own business. Who are they? What are they? And then I'm going back and forth. Should I or shouldn't I not? Or should I? And then I put it, and then I didn't know what to expect. But I was pleasantly surprised when I saw in my Serbian community especially, and everyone else, 88 times it was seen in like 1 week. I thought, oh, this is interesting. Then I decided to record where my kolos, where I was playing my Serbian music. By the way, we got to make sure that these are my hands. We got to do a hand ID. Okay, and the other one. See, the hand, it's attached to my arm and my shoulders, and so you can see that that's me. The reason it's just my hands, and a lot of you have asked that, is because it's easier when I'm recording with one hand and playing with the other. It's actually easier. And then also, I don't care about speed. That does not interest me. I would rather have precision. I would rather have people to be able to see what I'm doing. And also to make it so that people can relate to it. Because when I say the kolo, people would think, well, that's very good and that's very nice. What's the kolo? So I wanted to make it real where people can, it's relatable, where people can see what I'm doing. And then within a month, what I did not expect, what just came, where I started to study Hungarian, which is a language, it's in the family, a language that is so close and near and dear to my heart. Like about a month later, I had just turned literally the computer on and I found a concert of operetta from Budapest, and I saw that they're singing what they call bordal, wine song. It's like, I didn't even know what that is. Within 6 months, I was singing, and you can see I have several recordings of it where I'm singing it. And then I picked up an old dream to be able to study Hungarian, and especially with the new technology, and especially through Google, that I'm able to Google, how do you say this? What does this mean? And then when you sing in a language, you also learn a lot more. Singing in different languages, of course, being into opera. Italian is the language of opera. German is the language of operetta. Hungarian is the other language of operetta. Spanish is the language of we're covering the whole continent. So anyhow, and then I was really pleasantly surprised because I didn't expect that. And then also finding a website, this is a commercial for it, Hungarian Pad 101, where they send me a word every morning, and then they put a sentence structure around it to make it relatable. So to make it with the pictures so that I have a better imagery of what it looks like, and that helps develop my vocabulary and my confidence in studying Hungarian. Also, when you sing in a language, like I said, where I was able to find the lyrics to where I sang Come Gypsy Play on the Violin. Many of you might remember when I did the tape Salute to Vienna many, many years ago, that I sang that song in German if it sounded familiar. But where it's gypsies and violins, that's typically Hungarian. And that's, of course, my mom's influence, where I was looking for the lyrics for 15 years and I just found it. And I haven't stopped singing it since then. Okay, I got to take a break. God bless you, and we'll see each other in a few moments.